Hello everyone, I'm Michael McGorry and welcome to day 3, that's right, day 3 of the 30-day movie challenge. We are now officially a tenth of the way through this. This, I believe, calls for a celebration. None of your milk the day. We're on the hard stuff now. 20th of January 2017. That explains it. That explains the horrific taste there. I gotta say that's quite a disappointment. That's it. That's your opening skit for this video. I'm a disappointment.
Hello and welcome to day 3 of the Movies and Milk 30-day film challenge. Today myself and Michael will be discussing the most disappointing film that we've ever seen. Very much like The Shining, I can confidently say that this is the most disappointed I've ever been while watching a film. It most certainly isn't. However, this is most certainly the film that's disappointed me the most in recent times. We're talking about Rian Johnson's Star Wars: The Last Jedi. It's no secret whatsoever that a massive Star Wars fan like myself was eagerly anticipating this film, with that very literal cliffhanger at the end of the film where Rey confronts Luke Skywalker with Anakin's original lightsaber. We wanted to know what's going to happen. We had to wait 2 long years to see what Rian Johnson, the creator of The Last Jedi, what he would come up with. And they decided to throw one of the most precious lightsabers in all the galaxy over a cliff face. There's a lot of mixed reactions, I remember very vividly in the theatre. A lot of people were laughing, they thought it was quite funny, a lot of people enjoyed it, a lot of people were really pissed off with it. A lot of people were just confused as to why that was the decision that Rian Johnson chose for potentially one of the biggest sequels of all time. And I was certainly in the category of being pissed off. As I mentioned with The Shining, I've always believed that, an obvious staple of a great film lies within the first couple of minutes. Of course, it doesn't work favourably each and every time. There has been some fantastic openings to some very bad films. By no means whatsoever is this a bad film or an awful film by any stretch of the word. To me, this is just one of the most disappointing films for a large franchise that I've ever personally seen. That's not to say that it doesn't have fantastic moments scattered throughout the film, because it does. The scene with Rey and Kylo Ren when they approach Stroke. The scene involving Rey and Kylo Ren when they are conversing with Snoke, I think that's an absolute fantastic moment in all of the Star Wars films. That was a fantastic scene, and I remember the audience's reaction when I first seen it back in 2017. My mum's sitting outside, she's just sitting outside, just watching me, right? A picture will last longer. Up until December 2019, I'd only seen the film once. I couldn't physically put myself through that disappointment again. But come the release of The Rise of Skywalker, myself and a good mate of mine, Kris, we ventured together to an IMAX theatre so we could see the full Skywalker trilogy back to back. And honestly, The Last Jedi was a lot better than what I previously believed. This is a very hit or miss Star Wars film. A lot of Star Wars fans absolutely love it. Probably a little bit more don't quite enjoy it as much. Critics absolutely raved about it. But for me personally, although I had enjoyed it a lot more the second time round, this is still to date one of the most memorable theatre experiences, and not in a good way. Anyway, Michael son, back to you. That's better.
Right, okay, I know, that's better, that's the good stuff. So being someone who goes to the cinema quite often, there have been many times where I have been just flat out disappointed with a film. It's gotten so bad now that I don't even get excited for films that much anymore. And whilst there have been many blockbusters to have disappointed me in the past, there was one that was just... It made me feel cheated, and I'll tell you why. So I was so unbelievably excited to see this film. It has a cast consisting of Michael Fassbender, Rebecca Ferguson, J.K. Simmons, Val Kilmer, Toby Jones. It's based on what I have heard is a pretty half-decent crime novel. It was directed by the same person that directed Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and it was executively produced by Martin fucking Scorsese. So how, may I ask, did The Snowman end up being as bad as it is? Well, I'll tell you why. The film was incomplete. That's right, they didn't finish filming what was on the script. So hence the reason why I felt cheated. It just... But even if the film was complete, I still don't think the film would have been that good. I mean, the performances were fine. J.K. Simmons was doing a buffoonish accent. The film was shot beautifully. It's just a shame that the film itself was lacking. And it's not even entertainingly bad. I love watching bad movies if they're entertaining. But this one was just so boring. The killer's theme is the dance classic Popcorn. What? You've got the Psycho theme tune for Norman Bates, but for the snowman it's Popcorn. Whoa! And yeah, that's all I can really say about the film. I mean, I can't get too heated because it's heated enough in this room as it is. I mean, it's about 40 degrees and we're in Scotland. What's going on? I mean, I would talk a bit more about this film, but quite frankly, I've just sort of blanked it from my memory. It was... Christ. And I took someone to see this film for their birthday. I've not heard from them again. So much wasted potential. So that concludes day 3 of the 30-day movie challenge. I promise you, these will get better as they go along. But until then, just make us happy, please. Just go down there and give us a little like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments what film just disappointed you to no end. And if you're intrigued by this 30-day movie challenge and would like to take part yourself, then head over to the Movies and Milk Instagram page where you can find the template. And until tomorrow, stay safe, don't do anything stupid, and we'll see you for day 4. Christ, I wish I was just rolling around in snow right now. It's fucking roasting in here.